company support and train individuals and communities and rural enterprises, and there's over 25 years of experience. In fact, they're based just down the road from here. But they are inviting nominations now for their Community Recognition Awards, which are on every year and on the spring of the year. And what the awards do is they celebrate the great efforts of community groups and voluntary groups and social enterprises right around Donegal. Laura Mannion is the communications manager and joins me now in the studio. Laura, good afternoon.
Thank you, John, for having me on. Yeah, as you mentioned, we've been doing the Community Recognition Awards now for 4 years. Actually, we started it off at COVID was the first year because, as you know, the community and voluntary sector went through a very tough time during COVID, and they went over and above to respond to the needs of their communities.
I remember the first awards post-COVID, and
yes.
They were all COVID related.
Exactly, they were.
Understandably so.
They were. And so we thought they deserved to be recognised after coming out of that really difficult period. But to be fair, things haven't got any easier for the community and voluntary groups out there.
The challenges have just changed.
They've just changed. So we've gone straight in for that, to war in Ukraine and the cost of living crisis. So and it's, as you say, it was a great night. It's been a great success. So we're delighted now this is our 4th year running the Community Recognition Awards. So we're asking the public to nominate their local community group. If you're listening at home and there's a community group in your area that you feel deserves to be recognised and applauded for the hard work they do, this is your chance to nominate them and acknowledge that. And
there's no theme. This is just groups and initiatives right around the county.
Exactly. We do have, they are in our catchment area in DLDC, so that's the whole of Donegal except for Inishowen, because that's managed by our partners, Inishowen Development Partnership.
Okay.
So that's one small point to make. But the rest of Donegal, we do have categories. We have 5 categories. So we have the best social inclusion or peer support campaign. We have the outstanding community partnership. So that's any kind of community that have come together. Maybe a couple of groups have come together to put on an event, that type of thing. And then we have best social enterprise or community organisation, small, and the best social enterprise or community organisation large. And then we have a new category, which is Best Sustainable Practices Award, which is anything that's involved in environment or biodiversity or climate action, or even if you haven't a project off the ground yet, but you're planning a project in that area, feel free to send in a nomination.
Now, the nominations, can they be sent in by anyone? Do you have to be involved? Do you have to be part of a group? Or?
No, absolutely. Anybody can send in a nomination. It'll take a couple of minutes to fill in the form. You'll find the link on our website. You'll also find the link on our social media channels, and hopefully you can put them up on yours today as well, John, after this. Yeah. But yeah, or if you have any questions, just give us a call or drop us an email at info@dldc.org and we'll send you on the form. But no, it takes 2 minutes to fill in the form. If we need further information, we'll give you a call back or we'll contact the group itself for more information if we feel it doesn't have enough to go through.
Okay. But the form itself is very easy.
It's
in
very
fact,
simple.
I have it here in front of me on the website.
Very simple.
And it's very straightforward.
It takes a couple of minutes to fill in. Just tell us why you think that group is brilliant. And again, it can be any group. It doesn't because we're going right through to peer support groups, which could be a few people that come together on a weekly basis, a non-funded group, right through to your large social enterprises and organisations, which is community centres, businesses that have a social impact. So it's a whole wide gambit. It's just any group that you feel has made a huge difference and positively impacts your local community. Take a second and nominate them. And also it's important to say that a lot of these groups, not all, but a lot of them are run by volunteers. They're run by volunteer committees. So it's a huge ask of their time. So I think they deserve to be recognised and deserve a night out as well.
They most certainly do, and that night out usually over at the Finn Valley Centre.
Finn Valley Centre.
And it's only on a night such as the awards that you realise just the sheer scale of what's out there, the number of people that are involved in giving of their time and efforts for initiatives like this.
Absolutely. I mean, in DLDC we have in the high hundreds of community groups of all sizes that are registered on our database as members of DLDC. And each one of those could have anything from 3 people to 30 people involved in them. So it's a huge sector here in the county. And I'm obviously biased being from Donegal, but it would be fair to say that Donegal is one of the strongest counties in Ireland too in terms of our community voluntary sector and our social enterprises. So it's nice to recognise that and recognise it. And also another little plug while I'm here, but the Donegal Volunteer Centre has their Volunteering Action exhibition, which showcases volunteers, which is starting on Culture Night on Friday. And we were just looking at that the other day. And again, every one of those volunteers is representing a community group, and there's just so much happening in the county. It would do your heart good to pop along and see that. But
that's on where?
And it's in the museum, Donegal Museum.
Okay.
Yeah, it runs right through to October, end of October. Yeah.
All right.
So that's another little plug while I'm here. Never miss an opportunity.
No problem. No problem.
But
it's great that the whole sector is thriving and that there's such numbers.
It's thriving, absolutely. I mean, it's not without its challenges, but it is absolutely thriving. And that's because people in Donegal, I think, have a culture of putting their hand up. When they see a problem, they put their hand up and they solve the problem. And maybe it's because we're so far away from everybody else, but we don't wait for somebody else to solve the problem for us. We get stuck in there and we do it. You know, if I'd say if you asked, stop 5 men in the street, 5 women in the street, say most of them are involved in some committee or they're involved, they help their kids' football club out. There's so much given of time and talent here.
And it is sheer diversity, everything from, you know, fixing a route up Errigal to helping old people during the pandemic and food banks and everything in
community
between.
Gardens, peer support groups like, you know, the MS support group, there's active ageing. There's just so much that deserves to be recognised. You know, that gets people who go to so much effort to get people out of their homes and involved in the local community.
So it's a group of any size, any nature. If you think they're suitable, then just go on to dldc.org.
Absolutely. And don't be scared about putting in the wrong category. If you think that you've put it into peer support and it should be in large enterprise, we will move it around. So don't worry about that. We can contact you if you have any questions. So just put in the entry, and you can enter it into more than one category too. So feel free to put it in. If you at home are in a voluntary role within an organisation, or even you're a paid for role within a community group, feel free to send it in, or your parent, or your friend, or your partner. You know, it's a nicer chance to acknowledge their hard work.
Yeah. Just going back to the LDC, if there's groups like we've mentioned dotted around the county. The chances are that you've been helping, or they've been in touch with you, or you've helped with funding or whatever it is. But on the off chance that somebody's starting something, or something's already up and running, and they haven't got in touch, they should.
Absolutely, they should. In DLDC we have kind of 2 core strategies. One is to help people towards work or into work, and the other one is to strengthen the capacity of community groups. So that is all about helping community groups to build their own capacity, to further their own remit within the community. So we are there to help you. We also have a social enterprise team that will help you set up your own social enterprise. So please do get in touch. We are there to help. Again, it's info@dldc.org. Drop us an email and we will point you in the right direction of who in our team would be best placed to support you.
And for these awards, these community recognition awards, the closing date is?
It's Friday week.
Not
too long.
Not too long.
No.
That's right.
So
okay. Onto the website, it's dldc.org, and you get the application form to fill out on there. Laura, thank you.
Thank you very much.